Hello, welcome to Shooting Spitballs. This is the podcast where we drag under the microscope a whole manner of real-world video production scenarios, and then we figure out how to handle them when the unexpected hits on set. My name's Martin from Shot and Strong Films, and after years of shooting in all kinds of tricky situations, I'm here to pass on what I've learnt to new emerging video shooters that are looking for real, honest, practical advice. Advice that's going to help them stay sharp and adapt fast when things take a turn for the worst on set, which they often will do, believe me. In today's episode, we're joined by two seasoned shooters, Russ Stedman and Anneka Ireland. We're taking a deep dive into two common but deceptively tricky scenarios: shooting a green screen on location and filming B-roll at a busy conference. We'll also be throwing in a couple of red herrings along the way just to keep them on their toes, so look out for those. And to the most important point, if you're listening to this podcast, there's a link in the show notes to the reference images, which you'll probably want to take a look at so you know what we're all pretending to understand. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, welcome both. Thanks for joining me on this maiden episode.
The inaugural.
Do you both feel honoured to be chosen?
Feel very privileged.
No, not really? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Time pressured.
I just think that he didn't have anyone else to ask.
Maybe. Well, thanks for being my detainees for the next 20 minutes or so.
Thank you for having us.
Anneka, would you like to do a short intro and tell everyone at home listening, wherever they are, a little bit about yourself?
Well, obviously my name is Anneka. I'm a videographer and my company is Ampersand Video Productions. I have been in the industry since 2010, so 15 years now. And I film a variety of events, promos, content, anything. I'll give it a go.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And you, Russ?
I'm Russ from 325 Productions UK. I had to put the UK on it because there's a company in New York that have 325 Productions.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And I'm a videographer and I do photography as well. And I do a variety of things like Anneka and events and promos for businesses. And I do a lot of actual work with cats for a well-known cat charity in the UK. And do a lot of their educational and welfare videos, which is a lot of the time the bulk of what I'm doing, which is very nice. It's a very wholesome client to have.
Good stuff. So we have a wealth of experience here. So, right, what should we do now? Should we get into our first shooting scenario?
Yes.
And do a bit of spitballing? Go on, do the honours.
Thank you.
Right, what do we have here? A green screen shoot in an office. Could be anywhere. Let's say it's in London. So your task is to turn up to the shoot. They've provided the green screen, as you can see. And it's a design agency and they're doing 10 pieces to camera, so 10 employees. And they're talking to someone off camera. And they're all sort of saying just a few lines about why they love working on a particular brand. But let's not just go into the details of it because we're focusing on technical, right?
Sure.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Right, who wants to go first?
Anneka does.
I don't. Please, not this one. I had to go first on the others, but not the others.
Okay. Sorry, Russ.
I'll go first. So the first thing I would do
Can I say they want to sort of mid-shots?
Mid-shots.
Just so you know.
Yep, so fairly tight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the first thing I would do is shut all the blinds, as it looks like there's blinds there.
Good man.
And also the fluorescent strips. Just turn all the lights off. So that we've got complete control of the environment.
Why would we need to turn them lights off?
Because of the colour.
Could get flicker maybe as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You just want total control of what's going on the green screen, don't you?
Uh-huh.
So anything above head, I mean, they could potentially be beneficial, but I would personally prefer just to have complete control over everything and use my own lighting setup.
Just as this is a little shout out to Jeff from Silvertip Films. This is a generated AI image, Jeff. You'll be pleased to know. But don't worry, it's just a reference. We're not being creative.
This image kind of brings back some memories when I was filming at a lawyer's office last year, and they had blinds that looked like that. And as soon as we started setting up, the PR guy reminded us that they're automatic blinds.
Yeah.
So we set up, and yeah, they closed.
Oh, what, a particular time
A certain time of day.
You couldn't control them.
Yeah.
It was when the sun went around the building.
Oh, so it's not your
Nobody
fault then.
could. No, it wasn't. But we had to adapt and change the setup really quickly because we had strict timings to when these lawyers were going to come in and do their interviews. So it was a little bit stressful. But when I see a picture like that, that's what I think of, and I just, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I would do. Just get control of the environment and remove any variables of what light could come into the room, and then go to setting up lighting the screen.
Okay. Do you want to break that down for us?
The lighting the screen?
Yeah.
So with my two Lishwai panels, as it's a mid shot, we don't need, we can probably get quite close with the two panels. So that would be hopefully a nice even spread along the screen. I'd light the screen first. If possible, and then I get my subject in position, and then I would go to lighting them separately to the screen.
Cool.
And by that, I would obviously just do. Does it have to be like completely flat? Are we looking for any textures or anything like that?
Let's
High key.
a 2-to-1 ratio on the face. So
Okay.
key in from 45 degrees.
Sure. So yeah, a fill, a key and a fill, and then I would try and get some sort of hair light in at the back, at the top, just to give it a little pop against the background.
Okay. And how far will they need to stand away from the background?
Certainly no less than a couple of meters, probably.
Yeah. What lens would you use?
It depends how much room I've got in that space. On a mid shot, 50.
Hey, that's what I was thinking. Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Okay. Some great knowledge.
Did I pass?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, you did that really well.
So this is where we introduced a red herring for you both. So you're going to hear, you're each going to have your producer from hell who's on the shoot with you. So I think you're up first, Russ. You ready?
I've just done one.
No. Now it gets serious. Ready?
Okay.
Yeah, hi Russell. I was thinking because we have quite a lot of staff to get through today, I thought we could mix it up a bit and have some people looking off to the left and some to the right. What do you think about that?
Sure, no problem.
So let me give you a clue. There's kind of some error in what they say. So you need to sniff it out.
Can I hear it again?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was too busy laughing.
Yeah, hi Russell. I was thinking because we have quite a lot of staff to get through today, I thought we could mix it up a bit and have some people looking off to the left and some to the right. What do you think about that?
Okay, maybe it's not an error on their part. What would you do with the lighting? Would you leave it the same or what?
Probably adjust it slightly. What I'd suggest is getting, say it was 10 people, first 5 people would be in the same position, and then we'd swap over and make arrangements for the last 5, rather than mix and match one to the other. So that probably what would change the most would be from the left to the right. You might need to reposition the hair light, the backlight. You might need to change the ratio of the fill, key to fill, etc., depending on which way they were looking.
Yeah.
And depending on what look you were going for.
Cool. That was what I was looking for.
Hey.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Over to you.
I don't even know what it is anymore.
Hey, Anneka. I really want to get that cinematic shallow depth of field look. So maybe, can we shoot at maybe like f1.8? Would that be okay?
Oh, I don't know if 1.8 is pretty open, isn't it? It's going to be hard to keep everything in focus. I've seen it before where it's been shot in that way, and it just, the eye's in focus, but the nose isn't. And I'd probably suggest 2.8 to him.
Yeah, it's not bad. 2.8 f4. Because then you'll get a cleaner key, basically.
Yeah, I was going to wonder, how much does it make a difference if you're going to be stripping out the background anyway?
Well, that's another sort of, there's no point.
Yeah.
Because you can have a f1.8 green screen background if you want it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
That's my first thought.
Yeah. So, stupid producer. They need educating. Okay, so that's our first scenario ticked off. Russ, do you want to go to the next one? Are you ready for this?
Do.
Right, this is your standard conference hall. You've been entrusted to do just B-roll highlights. Right, let's have a look at this image here. There's not so much anything wrong with it. So we have how many people on stage? 5. So, Russell, let's come to you again first.
We're getting shafted here.
Yeah. So, what's your kit? What are you going to bring to this to get some epic B-roll highlights?
Well, a kit I have, which is a C70.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be running around on a gimbal, are you?
As I don't own a gimbal, no.
Okay.
I would, if that was required, I would be hiring somebody that did have one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would use a lot of, what I find with these sorts of jobs is you've got to be quite wary about whether you're disturbing the event or not. So you've almost got to be in the shadows a little bit. So a lot of initially what I do is I would find position on the tripod, get establishing shot nice and wide, trying to frame out the fact that there's some empty seats
Glad
there.
you spotted that.
Yeah, try and make it busy. Make it look busy as possible.
It's another AI for you, Jeff.
Once I've got that, and then I would probably punch in to get 2 angles at that position, and then I'd just move around the space as much as I could. I will try and get to the front and try and creep down the front there just to get those really nice close-ups of the speakers if possible. But again, it all depends on the event, the space, the client. Some clients really don't want you to be visible at all, and some are quite happy for you, or they really want those really sexy close-up shots of the speakers, because they might be sponsors or something like that. So you've got to get stuck in there and just kind of accept the fact that you're going to be a bit embarrassed and on show, and try not to trip over.
Yeah, just wear black clothes so you don't stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Anneka? What lenses would you bring?
70-200.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely 50. Probably my 24-70 for flexibility.
Nice.
It depends on how much you're allowed to move around.
Cool.
Yeah.
So looking at that image, there's one thing that I used to be, when I was first starting out, you kind of do a close-up of a speaker on stage, and you'd have part of the screen in the background, and it just looked awful. Either you get that moire effect sometimes, and they'd just be blown out. So I'm always mindful of shooting. You see those two wings, sort of the two sort of bits in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I would be framing my background if I could, to get that angle, and not in front of the white screens.
That's a good thing to consider. I
Right.
mean, yeah.
Producer from Hell's turned up, Russ. Are you ready for this?
This guy hates me.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, hi Russ. I thought for the audience shots we could really use some super slow-mo, like 120 frames per second or something like that. That'll look good, won't it?
All right, Russ.
No, that won't look good.
Why not?
Well, 120 frames, you're going to need your shutter at 1/240, and it's going to basically look black and underexposed and dark. And therefore, it wouldn't look good at all.
Okay.
And why would you want 120 frames slow-mo on an audience member that's just looking at the stage?
Well, sometimes, there might be one sneezing. And it was brilliant. Cinematic.
Yeah, because that'll make the edit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what we're looking for.
I think this producer needs to be sacked.
I mean, I wouldn't even go 50 frames really, because usually they're just sitting like they're at 240 frames a second already.
And I find with these events, majority of the audience are looking at their phones.
Yeah.
Because they're either tweeting live or they're just not listening.
Not engaged.
Yeah, not engaged at all. And it's really hard to actually get a shot of somebody looking really engaged or even, acknowledging what's going on at the right time. You've got to be there at the right time. You've got to be on them at the right time.
Yeah. I mean, I would say if this producer from Hell was adamant that you wanted it 120 frames a second, I would be very mindful of shooting it when there's a very, very white screen, because that really does push a lot of light through. We're going to talk him out of that anyway.
Yeah, I would probably argue quite hard that there wouldn't be any point, or I would probably do it and show him the playback just to show how underexposed it would be.
Very good.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Just to make him stop asking.
Yep.
Okay, you ready, Anneka?
Yeah.
Hey, Anneka. Just a quick one about the audience. Can we just get them all looking happy and engaged and look like they're having a good time? That'd be great. Thank you.
Oh, happy and engaged at something that's probably going to be dull and boring. I can try my best, but I couldn't guarantee that unless somebody says something funny.
It's out of your control, isn't it?
It's out. Live events are out of your control, and you just have to do what you can do with it, and you've got to manage their expectations. And if they're asking for that, then you just have to tell them you'll try your best to get what you can. But if not, then you can't. You can't force people to do that.
I guess the luckiest time you can do that is usually at the start, because we're not at a stand-up gig, but I think the first 2 minutes they try and become a stand-up comedian, don't they? Just to get the crowd on their side almost. That would probably be the best point, that you'd get a few laughs.
Yeah.
I've found.
Laugh. Was the producer looking for laughs or just general engagement? Or?
I say laugh. It will probably come across that. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's them laughing.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the time these sessions have Q&A at the end, and that's the time where I whip round and pick up people actually talking or engaging, and that usually looks quite good if you can't get them smiling or laughing or even looking at the stage.
Yeah. And I mean, if a question's being asked that's not funny, you wouldn't overlay a shot of somebody smiling and laughing, would you, if it was a serious subject?
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
So it depends what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Which, judging by that image, doesn't look like it's going to be anything comical.
Well, we don't know, do we?
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys. Really good pieces of wisdom there from you both. Let me come to you, Anneka. Have you got any real-life stories, real-life scenarios that you've been on where you've kind of rescued the shoot or something similar?
Okay, so the one that springs to mind immediately is when I was shooting a big event, and there was me and two other guys shooting. We had a camera locked off central, and we had a couple spread around, and we were busy getting B-roll. They had one photographer there to capture the event. And I noticed that I didn't see him for a while, and then I thought, oh, what's this lazy photographer? Where's he gone? Anyway, we just looked at one of the guys I was filming with. He spotted the photographer kind of fumbling around with his kit, looking really worried and stressed. And we sort of kind of went over to him and just said, are you okay? And he said, I kept my sensor. I think my sensor's gone. He was showing me the screen where it's all just, messed up. And we were like, oh right, okay, well, you got your other camera? And he was like, no, because I put it in for a service and it wasn't ready. So I thought I'd, just come along with the one. So we were like, well, what are you going to do? It's a live event. And he's like, I don't know. We just felt really sorry for him, so we just lent him one of our spares, and helped him get all his settings right. Got him going again. Sort of give him a little pat on the back and made him feel a bit better about himself, and said, "Come on, just got to go and do this." And then so the client didn't have a clue, even though we didn't know the photographer. Never met him. Just thought you've got to kind of like work together in this industry and help each other out when necessary. So we did that, and everything went fine, and the client didn't have a clue. And was happy. They were happy with all the photos and videos. So that's
they'll never know.
They will never know. Yeah, well, they might do. They might do if they listen to this. No, I'm sure they wouldn't work it out. Yeah.
No, that's good, because sometimes there can be slight rivalry between a photographer and a videographer, I've found. And, particularly in weddings, there can be some wedding photographers that are very much, I need to get the shot, and they don't care if they stand in front of your camera and stuff like that. I've had that before.
I've definitely had that on many occasions, but I've learnt the best way to deal with that is to approach them straight away. Absolutely, and just put their minds at ease and say, let's work together on this. I'm not going to tread on your toes. I'm not going to get in your way. We both need to get similar kind of angles, so let's work it out. We're a team in this. Yep. And then most of the time, I'd say we don't have any problems. But you always get the kind of occasional one that feels that their shot's more important. So that can be a bit tricky. But you just got to do the best you can.
That's a whole episode, let alone a whole series.
For sure.
Sometimes I find killing them with kindness is a good, or give them some chocolate. Sometimes it's handy to have snacks and stuff in your bag, which is something, I do like to have snacks. Have snacks in your bag and just say, would you like some? And they actually, sometimes I've had them look at me and think, they're like, their face lights up and they're just like, my goodness, like she's on my side, she's being kind, she doesn't have to do that. And then immediately they're like, oh, she's all right. Yeah. So just helps me out.
Yeah, you're clearly a mother.
I always do
snacks in the bag.
I used to go out night clubbing with like cherry bakewells in my bag. So this was all my life I love a snack.
Nice.
So people to this day have this blurry recollection of this woman with bakewell tart.
Like the small cherry bakewells. Used to have that wrapped up in a bit of foil. Or sometimes I'd like pre-cook one of those pizzas, like small pizzas from the shop, and take half of that in my bag.
Let's go into town.
Get a bit hungry.
Amazing.
What about you,
I
Russ?
love
Can you
it.
top that?
Not
Not the
the snacks.
not the
I don't
tarts,
carry snacks. Well, no, I wish I did. No, I have a slightly amusing one. So I work with cats a lot, and one of the jobs I had was to film a story about a cat that roamed around the local community. So it was owned by somebody in the local village. This is down in Cornwall. And this cat had a reputation for walking into town and basically just going into several shops during the day, interacting with customers, sleeping, interacting with the staff in there. So the charity that I was working for wanted to do a story about this. It was a very funny story. So I had to drive all the way down to Cornwall from near Brighton. The day I got there, I managed to shoot the main interview with the family who were talking about Charlie Charles, who was this cat who roamed around this town, little village called Weybridge. And they were saying stuff like, yeah, he always likes to go to the antique shop, and then he goes to the post office, then he'll go to the pet shop, and sometimes he'll sleep on the counter of all these places. He's got a very clear routine of where he goes each day. So like, great, got an interview in the bag the night before. I'm ahead. I'm feeling this is going really well. Brilliant. And so the next day I got up and went down into the village for 9:00. We both did, me and the family, the mum of the family, went to the antique shop expecting to see the cat. No cat. Oh, where's Charlie Charles? Well, he's usually here by now. Yeah, I thought, sure, we'd just wait a little while. He'll trot along in a minute. So, okay. No sign of him. Oh, maybe he's changed his mind today. Maybe he's, gone somewhere else. Let's go to the pet shop, because he normally likes to steal the treats on the pet shop counter. Trundled off to the pet shop. Oh, no, he's normally here by now, but we haven't seen him yet. Have you tried the post office? Anyway, you can see where this is going. Basically, this famous cat that walks around this village just was nowhere to be seen. And I'd driven all the way from Brighton to film this story. And it got to maybe midday, and we had seen no sign of this cat. Nobody had seen him all day. 10 minutes later, we got a phone call. And the cat wasn't home. It had been asleep at home all day, apparently. We rushed up to the house, got a few shots of the cat in the home, and then the mum said, well, I can actually physically take him to the shop in the carrier and we'll let him out. And they did that, and I managed to get about 3 shots in the antique shop before he disappeared again. But I was due to leave the very next morning. But I've sort of thought, I've travelled all this way, I'm going to have to stick it out, whether I like it or not. I'm going to have to get up tomorrow morning as early as possible and just be in town ready, just to see if any off chance that he comes. And first thing in the morning, I must have got down there 7:30 or 8 in the morning. And sure enough, he turned up on his usual route, and I managed to follow him around, and I got loads of cool shots, and it became a really nice sort of funny, quirky video in the end, which was great. But it was a Friday, and I left Weybridge at midday, and basically the traffic was so bad, I was so exhausted that I had to stop off in Dorchester, just found an Airbnb en route, and just had another night away from home. So the moral of the story is, each time you think that you're not going to get the shot, particularly if you're working with animals or live events or something like that, just stick it out a little bit longer, because it often does pay off.
Should be a wildlife cameraman.
Well, I would have loved to have been, actually. I would have loved to have been, but yeah, stick it out as long as possible. That's my top tip.
Good tip.
All right, guys, great stories. Yeah, we're going to leave it there. So thanks, both of you, for coming on this maiden podcast, episode 1. And I hope to see you both again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, subscribe or leave a review, whichever platform you're watching or listening on. If you've got any thoughts, questions or ideas for future episodes, then drop me a comment below or email me at martin@shotandstrungfilms.com. I'll catch you on the next episode where I'll be back with 2 more guests, breaking down a 2-person fireside chat style setup inside a yoga studio.